Song 43, Song of the Eight Wondrous Joys, Obeisance to all Gurus. When the Jetson Milarepa was staying at the Red Rock height of Drin, a monk of the Dre tribe who had never seen the Jetson before, but was greatly impressed by his fame, came in great faith to visit him. Reaching Milarepa's abode, he saw only a cooking pot in the cave and thought, "There is nothing here, not a single page of Buddhist scripture, not a Buddhist image, not even a small symbol of the Dharma, let alone the necessary supplies for amusement and livelihood. Since there is no holy symbol, such as a sutra or image of Buddha on which he can put his whole reliance, I wonder what will happen to him when he dies." The Jetson knew his thought at once and said, "Venerable monk, you do not need worry about that. I do have my holy scriptures, images, and reliance on the Dharma. I shall have no regret, but shall rejoice when I die. Now listen to my song. I bow down to all Father Gurus. My body is the holy mandala itself, wherein reside the Buddhas of all times. With their blessing I am freed from all needs and attachments. By day and night I offer to them, happy am I to do without material things. Knowing that all beings in the 6 lokas are latent Buddhas, and all 3 realms are self-creating beyond measure palace. Whatever I do is a play of Dharmadhatu. Whoever I am, which with is the patron deity. Wherever I stay is the Buddha's abode. With my great wisdom I clearly see them all. Happy am I to forego outside help and symbols. On the paper of the red and white forces I use the ink of wisdom, writing the words of the 5 senses. All forms then become the Dharmakaya. Happy am I without those foolish books. All sentient beings in samsara have thatness, but realize it not. Applying the profound instructions, I absorb myself in the samadhi of the 3-in-1 Trikaya. Oh, whenever death may come, I shall feel naught but joy." The monk thought, it is indeed correct that he has telepathic power. This only proves that the other claims concerning him must be true. His faith irrevocably confirmed, he besought Milarepa with great earnestness to accept him as a disciple. Recognizing that this monk was well endowed, Milarepa gave him the initiation and verbal instructions and sent him to meditate. After a time he gained excellent experience in blissfulness. One day he came to the Jetson while many disciples were also gathered there and said, "In the past I had no experience of joy within, therefore my craving for wealth and material things was very great. But you, the Jetson, who has no attachments whatsoever, have a great joy within you all the time. From now on I shall follow your way, meditating for the rest of my life in a hermitage, so that I may always be joyful too." Milarepa was exceedingly pleased. He replied, "This is very true. He who keeps to the hermitage will always be happy, and can eventually become a good guide on the path of Dharma." Whereupon Milarepa sang a song of the 8 wondrous joys. I bow down to you, the King of Kings, the Buddha's wish-fulfilling Nirmanakaya, the glowing torch that dispels the darkness of ignorance. To you, Translator Marpa, I pay sincerest homage. The sky-keep of Red Rock Heights is where dakinis meet, a place of delight that brings much inspiration to me. O wise and persevering disciples, pay attention to the song this old man sings in joy. In this quiet hermitage, where no sectaries are found, resides a guide ever in samadhi. He knows the path a happy man, realizing his own body as the holy temple. Oh, how marvelous it is to know that my nature, like the sky, is pure. A firm and steady faith is the guide that can lead you from samsara. Is there one here who has this guide? Oh, happy it is to see that both samsara and nirvana are self-liberating. Oh, marvelous it is to realize that the 4 bodies of Buddha ever exist in one's own mind. The non-clinging contact with objects by the 6 senses is the guide that turns all hindrances into help. Is there one here who has this guide? Happy it is to reach the shore of no desire, and wondrous to be freed from all duality. An upright guru with a genuine transmission is the guide who clears away your doubts and ignorance. Is there one here who has this guide? Oh, happy it is to be the man who serves his guru as a Buddha. It is wondrous to behold the self-face of the mind. This cotton clothing is the guide that protects me in snow mountains. From both cold and heat is there one here who has this guide. Oh, wonderful it is to lie naked in the mountain snow. Happy it is to fear neither heat nor cold. The instruction of identifying, transforming, and uniting is the guide that can crush all fears of Bardo. Is there one here who has this guide? Oh, marvel it is to reach the home of reality. Happy it is to be a man with nor life nor death. The skillful path of the whispered lineage is the guide that can distinguish the pure and the unadulterated mind. Is there one here who has this guide? Oh, marvel it is to feel the life prana coursing through the central channel. Happy it is to have a mind and body always at ease and in bliss. The yogi who practices voidness and compassion is the guide who cuts off jargon and play words. Is the one here who has this guide? Oh, happy it is to be surrounded by enlightened beings, and marvellous to win disciples through transformations. This is the song of the 8 joys, sung for you with delight by this old man. To clear the minds of my disciples, I chant these words with cheer. Forget them not, but hold them in your hearts. Hearing this song, Dre Dun and the other disciples were all greatly cheered and inspired. Dre Dun then said to the Jetson, "All you have said is most marvellous. Now please grant me an instruction on the view, practice, action, and accomplishment that is easy to understand, to practice, and to carry." In reply, Milarepa sang, "I pay homage to all Father Gurus. When you deepen the view through thought profound, be not misled by verbal knowledge. Before you have realized awareness in itself, chatter not about the view of voidness. All that which manifests is unreal as an echo, yet it never fails to produce an effect that corresponds. Karma and virtues, therefore, should never be neglected. Revile not others with your bigotry and egotism. Cling not to self-fixated ideas without an understanding of the supreme truth. First, fully realize self-nature and root up all errors from within. Before the great illumination shines forth in your mind, cling not to sweet ecstasy and voidness. Through all things are void manifesting. Never wallow in pleasures, nor expect your troubles to vanish without effort. Things in themselves are void, so never cling to voidness, lest you stray in formalism. When in the tide of mundane bliss one's crude wandering thoughts subside, an ecstasy will then arise, but he who is attached to it will go astray. Before realization shines forth within, all one can bless all objects and appearances. Before all 5 sense experience turn into great bliss, or all delusory thoughts come to an end. Engage not in anomalous acts at will, lest you go astray in practicing the equal acts. In bringing into being the last accomplishment, one should not seek Buddhahood elsewhere. Before the essence of self-mind is clearly seen, beware of falling into hopes and fears. Should you disciples think your body to be Buddha's, never deem it to be the real Nirmanakaya. Should your wandering thoughts vanish in the Dharmakaya, never think of them as real entities now extinguished into naught. The great merits, acts, and pure lands are natural manifestations of pure wisdom. Never should one regard them as real things in the outer world. Having heard this song, Dre Dun gained a decisive understanding. For a long time he meditated in a hermitage and eventually gained superior experiences and merits. He was then known as Dre Dun Drashid Bar and became one of the intimate sons of the Jetson, among the ranks of those senior rappers such as Dujum Rapper. This is the story of Dre Dun.